As this cave dissolves and Vol'jin finds himself in the stands of a great arena, his hands older, scarred, and calloused from decades of battle. Around him sits elders of warriors of the Darkspear, but beyond them he sees orcs, Tauren, more, and all eyes are locked on the pit below, where two champions fight, a brown-skinned orc wielding a mighty axe, and a Tauren with a great spear. And immediately as he sees them, two names fill his mind, Garrosh and Cairne. And as these two titans clash back and forth, Cairne, this mighty Tauren, fights without flaw, untouched and unyielding, as Garrosh the orc bleeds from several wounds, yet continues to press on, his rage being used as a fierce weapon. And from his place just above, Vol'jin sees a sight even more impressive to him as he looks around and he sees that the Loa themselves have swarmed the arena, watching the fight with agitation and hunger. And he realizes that their presence signals one thing for this moment that was far greater than the battle of strength going on, that it was a turning point with consequences for the Darkspears and all of Azeroth. Vol'jin understands that this isn't just a vision about two champions, it's about the survival of the Darkspear, and that he knew that his people's path would be bound to these choices, these leaders, and the blood that would be spilt below. And as the orc's axe comes down with a shrieking arc, the grooves in the blade howling as the air rushes past, Cairne does his best to brace with the spear, and the parry fails, the weapon shattering as the blade barely grazes him. But regardless, as you've heard in our story before, Cairne sways, his fingers limp around his shattered spear, and in that moment of wrongness, Garrosh charges with Gorehowl raised high, bringing it down into Cairne's neck, as Vol'jin feels a stabbing pain in his heart, the feeling of grief echoing through time itself, mourning the loss of his friend and elder. And Vol'jin says that in that moment, his senses sharpen as if the universe itself held its breath before letting out a scream. He says that he was not only witnessing the death of a great Tauren, that he was feeling the weight of a great betrayal. And as the world hung still, the Loa then shrieked and raged, their whispers driving through Vol'jin's soul, and he alone understood the truth, that the axe had been poisoned. Cairne's death was not honorable, not the way of the warrior, but of treachery. And as his vision resumed, the Tauren struck the ground with a thud, blood spraying, and around the arena erupted into cheers, outrage, and disbelief, yet Vol'jin only heard the fury of the spirits, their outrage